Hi, this is Christopher James again with my best friend, Xander. Wave to the people, Xander. Xander and I are going to show you a magic trick that normally you would do with adults, but my best friend and I thought we could teach all of you. It uses a deck of cards, and you will convince people that they have secret powers. What you do is you explain to them. You're going to have them point at a card. Don't touch it. You say you don't want to ruin the magic. You're just going to point at it. You spread cards out on the table, and you tell them to take their finger and point to the most popular card in the deck, the Ace of Spades. Take your finger and point to one of the cards, Xander. Which card do you think is the Ace of Spades? Go ahead, point to one. That one? Okay. You say to a second person, or you can use the same one if you want. You say, now remember, he picked the Ace of Spades. Now we're going to pick another card. We're going to pick the 7 of clubs, lucky number 7. Point to a different card, Xander. Which one? This one here. And you say one more. We're going to go with 8. 8 was when I started to learn how to do magic. And so we're going to go with the 8 of Spades. Point to one more card, Xander. So we had the Ace of Spades, the 7 of clubs, the 8 of Spades, and we'll go with a card that comes up a lot for me, the 4, because that's how old you are, right? The 4, let's just do 4 of Spades. So I pick the 4 of Spades. You then ask your volunteers, do you remember all the cards that I asked you to point at? If you use 4 people, it works better. They'll say the Ace of Spades was the first one, then was the 7 of clubs, the 8 of Spades, and we ended with a 4 for Xander, 4 of Spades. Xander was able to find all of the cards just using his mind and pointing. Isn't that amazing? Here is the secret to making your friends think that they have the power to find cards that you are merely mentioning the name of, and they can't even see them. The number one secret is that we're using our one-ahead principle again, where we know what's going to happen before they do. What you do is you simply peek at the bottom of the cards. You can have them shuffle them, and you kind of peek at it when you're holding them. I saw in the demonstration with Xander that we had the Ace of Spades. So when I drop the cards on the table, I keep track of that Ace of Spades right there. Now, like I said, normally I do this with 3 or 4 people, and I'll ask them to hold out their finger and point to a card. I simply name the card that I know the location of, the Ace of Spades. I say, will you please point to the Ace of Spades? They point to any card. We then pick it up, and I peek at that card. I peek secretly and see that it's the 7 of diamonds. I don't let anybody else see that. I say, remember the Ace of Spades. Second person, you're going to point to the 7 of diamonds. They point to any card. I do the same thing. Peeking, I say, point to the Ace of clubs. They point to another card. I pick it up and say, now I'm going to pick my favorite card. You just make up a story. I made up the 4 for Xander's age. I say we're going to pick an 8 because that's how old I was when I learned how to do this trick. We're going to find the 8 of hearts. When they get to the final card, when you're ready to wrap up the trick, you simply pick up that Ace of Spades. You know where it is. You placed it there and put it on the top. You then ask them one at a time, what were the cards that I had you point at? They'll say the Ace of Spades. They will say the 7 of diamonds, the Ace of clubs, the 8 of hearts. If you do this right, they'll think that they actually pointed at the card. I'll be honest. A little boy showed me this trick one time at one of my magic shops. I had no idea how he was doing it at first. It took me a long time to figure it out. He had to explain it to me. There I was standing there having a little boy that was probably 9 or 10 years old teach me how to do this trick that fooled me 2 or 3 times. Now I use it all the time because you can use any cards. So once people learn that you can do magic tricks, they will ask you to perform a magic trick everywhere you go. It happens a lot. They'll often come up to you with a deck of cards and say, show me a trick. Well, this is perfect because you can use just a regular deck of cards, and all you need to do is know where that bottom card is and what it was. Drop it down, keep track of it, go through. Now, you don't have to do 4 cards like I did. You can do 2. You can do 1. You can have them point at 1, then you name 1. You can do as many or as little as you want. Sometimes people ask me, what if they pointed to that ace of spades on the first try or the second try or the third try? Then you're set. You just stop the trick right there. You bring it up, you look, they got the ace of spades, for example, and you just lay them down, ask them to name their cards. You got it. You didn't have to continue anymore. And of course, it doesn't always have to be the ace of spades. It's going to depend on what the bottom card is. A little bit of practice, you can fool your friends and make them think that you have given them the power of finding any card that you name. It's a fun little magic trick that you can do anywhere. I like those kinds of tricks because it's impromptu. That's what that's called. And you can perform anywhere you want. So have fun with my telepathic cards. Telepathic cards.